Hey there, beloved Ascension pioneers, and welcome to another one of my Ascension updates. Today I wish to focus on the Lion's Gate, which is the Syrian Gateway. What is this? I want to discuss this further, and I want to bring in some information about gateways and portals in comparison to Stargates, because I had a beautiful confirmation just now. Yesterday I was receiving this personal light, I was recording a personal light activation for somebody, and I got this visualization, with the tube, with the tunnel, that kind of acts as a wormhole for us to enter into another realm of experience, into another dimension. And what happened was that today I opened the book from Dolores that I'm reading, and the chapter was exactly about this. So it couldn't be more in divine timing. And before I begin to speak a little bit more about that, I wish to address what is happening in our current journey. Whatever you feel you fit into, whatever resonates with you, take that. Leave the rest behind, as you know that Ascension is always a personal experience. So the Lion's Gateway, usually each year it begins on the 8th of August, which is a strong energy of powerful abundance through the inner strength, the inner power. And you know that the Sirius is, it's kind of like connected with the dog energy, and some people would call it like this, in the constellation of Canis Major. But and what is really important is to understand also the feline energy, the cat energy. The lion is that big cat, and there's so much influence now with this new energy, and each year when we're at the maximum of this energy, we have this, what we call the Lion's Gate. And it's not like science or science fiction, it's actually really simple, is to understand that our planet is being washed over by different, sets of energies, and all are complementary to each other, and all compile this experience and what we call Earth, and the different cycles that we are entering and tuning into. So if we look at the Syrian Gateway, what I've received is that from the point of 8th, and somewhere around 15th of August, it's going to be the most intense, this gateway. And what's going to happen is that the energy is pouring in from the light of the Sirius we are receiving. So we're already this week in preparation mode for that. A lot of us are receiving so many ideas, new visions, and it's important for us to not feel sometimes too overwhelmed with it. Remember, I've shared in my monthly energy update that there's going to be so much energy pouring through that at times we might feel a bit overwhelmed. So we just need to stay in alignment with what feels good for right now, because this energy can be very strong. The Leo, the king of the cats. It's that a very dominant energy. It's very intense. It's, here's the opportunity, use it wisely. It's very strong in a way. And for some people it might be too intense. But remember, it needs to be in balance. Everything always needs to be in balance. So when we're preparing for this, to enter the gateway, we're already receiving. And during the gateway, we're already going to be receiving action steps, how to move forward into the new even more. Because a lot of us are starting a new chapter. And for me personally, this will be shifting to, beginning this planning stage of retreats, which were already being planned here, and it's going to move further and further into the physical experience. So this is what will begin for me at this current point. And with all of this shifting, there can be a lot of advancement, but also this advancement might bring, like I said, the overwhelming energy, which we need to balance out with a also more playful approach, and to be really present and grounded with each idea that we have. So when we receive many, we can, scatter our energy a lot. So our focus is not so direct. So it's very important that we also learn to navigate between this powerful energy of the new and focus in each step. So the mantra for us could be like step by step. This is what I've been writing in my diary, in my Ascension journal, that all these new ideas, sometimes I'm like, wow, where are you going to have the time to do all of it? And it's just important to know that step by step, everything is done already. And sometimes we get an idea, you know, we feel rushed, we feel pushed, we want to try to make things happen, and maybe the energy is just not right. Maybe the energy is more like planting the seeds, and we got to go with the flow of things. Sometimes if we're not listening to our guidance, what can happen is, I remember I was recording this light activation and I was already sleepy and tired, and my guidance said, no, you can always do it later. And I kept pushing it. So the next time I wanted to upload the file from my recording device, there was no file. And that was a message for me, take it easy. You don't have to do everything at once. This is how this energy feels. So whatever we will be receiving now, there are major downloads happening. For me, there's just so many messages. You feel like Spirit is really there. You know that with each void of the new moon, there's like this sense that everything comes to stillness. Everything comes to 0 point. Sometimes you don't feel like really oriented or directed in your life. That is perfect. Because after a few days, and with the first quarter moon, there's like energy. And we're learning now to navigate these cycles and to really embrace them. Because in the old, a lot of times we wanted to push forward when it wasn't yet time to do so, or we were rushing into decisions, and now we're learning to really be innovative, be present, have these ideas, have the visions, always have the time to write them down. It's important because that is how we put them in paper, and we put them from this scattered energy, from our thoughts, and sometimes our mind really rushing if we don't just put it out, because when we write it down, we feel like we also let it go. And we're not attached to when and how it happens, but we know that when the next step of the guidance will come, it's going to be the way it needs to be, and everything is always perfect anyway. So this is really important. And what else I wanted to share here? If you're beginning anything new, like I said, don't rush with the first idea that comes to mind. A lot of times we want to sabotage ourselves. For example, we're still working on something like releasing some sort of energy that doesn't serve us and integrating the new. Remember, releasing, integration, they both come together as one. A lot of times people just want to be in the releasing, and it just keeps them endlessly releasing. Releasing and integration need to be new. Every time you release something, you open space for the new. You need to integrate that awareness. You need to become really present with that, with what's taking place. Without awareness, there's actually no integration. So this is about the Lion's Gate, and why this year is going to be even more, I feel, intense and important for us. It happens each year, but this year our Jupiter, the planet of expansion, moved into Leo, which is this energy. That's the Lion's Gateway. So I feel it's going to be very important for us, especially those of us who have a lot of fire energy in our astrological charts, and wherever Jupiter, to each of and every one of us, because it's a planet of expansion, that spiritual expansion, will expand at least one area of our life or more. I'm sure there's more, because that all areas of our lives are connected as one anyway. And also because we will have a full moon culmination at the very same time. Also, what you can do is you can visualize the figures 8 and 8 and kind of like coming together, interlocking together. You can do a visualization like that with 2 golden infinity symbols coming together, interlocking. What I've also received is the description that was given in the books of Dolores of this tube tunnel that is actually a wormhole. It's a Stargate from one reality to the next. I'll go into explaining this further. You can also do this that either on the day of the 8 of 8 or any time during that when you feel guided to yourself. You kind of create a sacred space, a meditative space for yourself, where you ask to be taken through these tube tours and through your own personal vortex, through the tunnel of light. And you can do this wormhole visualization and ask to be kind of like if you are meant to be, if it is for your highest good at this time, transported to this realm of the Sirius energy, and how it can then benefit you in your life at this time. Because the other beings are doing it as well for the purposes of observation, observing and assessing the evolution of Earth at this time. And what we can do is we can use this in our inner realms in order to expand our outer realms. And this is available to us. If you need further visualization, there's a movie called Contact. It was recorded in the 90s with Jodie Foster. It has this great visualization of that wormhole, how she moves through that tunnel and then enters this whole new world, which is a different dimension. Okay, now I wish to explain a bit more about this, because sometimes people still don't understand the difference between the portal and the Stargate. What Spirit shows me is that, first of all, we need to know that what is important for us on Earth at this time is to, when we approach these things that are of the higher nature of understanding, when we're expanding our understanding of the universes, the cosmos at large, and the whole life in creation, is to know that we need to not just be going out into this knowledge and constantly thinking about it, but whatever we know, whatever we're remembering through our core, we bring down here and ground it. It's very important to always embody what we know. We're not meant to be living on this planet to constantly, think about other things and other dimensions. What we're meant to do is, I've constantly been stressing this throughout my videos, is to bring that energy of the higher realms, is to bring that experience here and now, and to assist the planetary transition. So, yes, a lot of people are wondering about that, and how Spirit showed me is the first key to understanding this is to be grounded, and why you wish to receive this knowledge, why you wish to understand this further. You got to have a good reason, and nothing just comes to you just because you're curious, and it always has to do something with expanding your own reality. So how Spirit shows me the difference between the portal and a Stargate is that the portal, kind of we have a portals to, you can imagine, you yourself are a living portal. When we learn to teleport, which is not yet our experience at this time, but we become like a living, walking portal, because in truth we just didn't fully activate it yet in our human experience. But portals are, kind of like these vortices, points that connect certain areas. And these areas are all within the same dimension. But the Stargate is like this greater portal, which actually acts as a elongation point from one experience to the next. So from one dimension to another dimension. And let's say from Earth into the Pleiadian star system. That is why it's called a Stargate. You move from one star system into another star system. And also you shift in your frequency. So what they've been explaining in the book is how not everyone, is meant to come into this portal, because the body would need to dissolve. You would have to have an adjustment, and after you enter that point, and when you exit again, you would need readjustment. But how it was explained is a being saw themselves as a gatekeeper of the portal. Well, the portal now is not a proper word to say, Stargate. And they've been seeing like this beautiful, like a mountain crystal, like a huge mountain, but it was translucent. It looked like crystal. But then later they thought it was like a spaceship, and then they realized it's not a spaceship because it's not moving anywhere, so they realized it's actually a Stargate. So it's like this gateway. And what they shared is that it's really important, when the gatekeepers, what they're doing is they know that not everybody's meant to see the portal, because sometimes the energies alter a certain way that it becomes more maybe susceptible to those who are not meant to have that experience. But what these portals do, portals again, but what these gateways do serve for is actually those beings from other parts of experience, from other dimensions, from other realms, to come here and to be the conscious observers. And that observation helps them to be in better service, because it's all connected anyway. So they're kind of like moving from one general central station to the other, but they don't enter into this dimension. They just enter to the point where they have a perspective of observation, and they use it for service. So whatever we know and understand now at this point needs to be also understood through the higher perspective, and to be used in some way, in some form of expanding ourselves, our realities, not just to be curious and gather all this information, but really never ground it into experience. Some things are very, we don't have all the knowledge yet, but that is for the proper reason, because we then don't focus on the work we've came here to do. And what I notice is sometimes a lot of individuals, they're too focused on what's out there, and not in a way to bring that into their grounded sense of reality to do their purpose here on Earth, is what we're supposed to be doing. But gateways, when we use the word gateway, it's kind of like this huge opening when certain energies are available to us at an increased level, and we can benefit from them. So Like I said, we can do this in our own inner meditations. we can do this, you know, kind of like when I was guiding the person to do this, is to imagine the beings of light, of course, assisting you in your personal ascension team. You will be rising further and further up. At a certain point, when you feel ready, you will find this central station where you will find this elongation tube, the wormhole, and it will be like a whirlpool of energy sucking inwards when you feel ready. If you feel ready, you will know, you will feel this in your inner meditative state. When you will enter it, you will just feel like it's an instant experience taking you to another space, and then the space opens up. But if you do this, have an intent to do it for the purpose of expanding your reality, for expanding your light in your awareness, that you can then use it for service to others and to all life and creation. That's it for today. This very busy and very intense week for probably a lot of us. And there's going to be many changes. Like I said, this year, this Leo energy is really dominant because the Jupiter, the planet of expansion, is in that energy. And that's kind of like go out and just do it energy. But remember, step by step, this is really important now. Our lives are changing. They're never going to be the same again. It's how it is for a lot of us. Those of us who have been bold enough to make the real decisions to be aligned with our heart's desires. Occasionally, you know, we might feel a bit of fear or anxiety with all this new, when we feel maybe even guilty. Well, you know, can we leave the old behind? Some people don't want to really wish to leave others who are not sharing the same experience behind. But remember, you never leave anybody behind. Everything is choice. Everything is alignment. There is no positive, negative, good, and bad. Everything is choice. It is neutral. So during this Lionsgate portal, choose to align yourself with yourself. If you haven't yet made the choice, just be present. Ask yourself, what is it that I'm choosing at this time? What is it that I desire, when everything else, like for at least like a split second, it doesn't even exist? And then internalize that in order, you know, to ground it in a state of sense empowerment, that you will then more easily externalize it as well. Some people have been isolating themselves maybe a bit too much, and we've all done that, you know, at a certain point in our life, because it was needed for us to really build a strong sense of the higher self connection, of that knowing of what we really know and want through our spirit self, not through our minds. And once this reconnection and this empowerment is made, then we go out into the world. But remember, sometimes people think now it needs to happen like this. Everything is a state of constant integration. Every day will bring more opportunities for you to move more into your body. And you will feel more lighter and lighter each day when you do that. Remember, going more into the body does not mean you become denser, because it is your soul that moves into your body. So it doesn't, you know, it doesn't give the sense of becoming denser and denser. It gives a sense of being lighter and lighter. So once you're doing your meditations, just feel yourself how you're moving lighter and lighter. But then once you're ready to come back, remember to call forth all your soul aspects, all your fragments, all of the multidimensional self that is you. Bring slowly down into all of your body. And then always send a golden core down into the Mother Earth, so you really ground your experience here now, because that's so important. We need to be present here fully with all of our presence and beingness. That is it for today. I will always update you on all of the changes, but the month of August for me will be more about planning and preparation for the new phase, which will be mountain gatherings, ascension retreats. I'm receiving so many ideas, so I'm really excited about this. And again, step by step. I love you all so much. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for all your encouragements and comments and posts. And I'll see you again soon. So much love, wisdom, and power. Take care. Bye-bye.